This is how strong every Scooby-Doo monster really is. Here's how I'm analyzing monster strength. And yes, I made another comprehensive system because apparently that's just what I do with my time. I'm examining their abilities across multiple categories: raw physical strength, supernatural powers, combat effectiveness, durability and resistance to damage, and overall threat level to both the Mystery Gang and innocent bystanders. What emerges from this analysis is a spectrum that ranges from guy in a sheet to cosmic entity that can rewrite reality, proving that not all Scooby-Doo monsters are created equal. The Creeper. Starting with one of the franchise's most physically imposing human villains, the Creeper demonstrates genuine superhuman strength that goes far beyond what you'd expect from someone in a costume. He can easily lift adult men overhead, as shown when he hoists a security guard over his head like he's handling a child rather than a full-grown human being. The Creeper's physical capabilities extend to restraining multiple people simultaneously, suggesting not just raw strength but also the coordination and stamina to maintain that strength under pressure. During chase sequences, he shows remarkable endurance and speed, pursuing the entire Mystery Inc. team without apparent fatigue while maintaining his threatening demeanor throughout extended encounters. His environmental interaction abilities are particularly impressive. The Creeper can smash through wooden obstacles and doors without visible effort, indicating strength that exceeds normal human limitations even for someone his size. However, his abilities appear to be constrained by human endurance limitations, making him formidable but not supernatural. The Creeper represents the upper end of what's possible for human-based Scooby-Doo villains, combining intimidating physical presence with actual strength to back up his threatening appearance. He's genuinely dangerous in ways that most costumed villains aren't, making him more than just a scary costume with good theatrics. Thawed Caveman. The Thawed Caveman represents a significant escalation in physical strength capabilities. This creature can tear solid steel doors from their hinges with a single pull, demonstrating strength that goes well beyond human limitations and into genuinely superhuman territory that defies realistic explanation. His weapon proficiency adds another layer to his threat level. The caveman wields a giant wooden club with devastating effectiveness, swinging it to destroy substantial obstacles while maintaining perfect control over his movements. The combination of superhuman strength and weapon expertise makes him particularly dangerous in close combat situations. The caveman's ability to toss Scooby and Shaggy through the air with one hand demonstrates both his strength and his casual application of that strength against living targets. This isn't someone who struggles to overpower his opponents. He handles them with the ease of someone swatting flies, making resistance seem futile. Perhaps most impressively, the caveman survived being frozen and then unfrozen with no apparent weakness or loss of capabilities. His durability matches his strength, suggesting someone who's not just powerful, but also incredibly resilient to environmental extremes that would incapacitate normal humans. Tar Monster. The Tar Monster represents a completely different category of threat through his unique composition and abilities. Rather than relying on traditional physical strength, he can envelop people and trap them instantly, making his method of attack fundamentally different from conventional monsters who rely on intimidation or direct violence. His resistance to physical damage makes him nearly unstoppable through conventional means. Blunt force attacks simply don't affect him due to his tar-like composition, which absorbs impacts rather than taking damage from them. This makes him immune to the kind of physical confrontation that might work against other monsters. The tar monster's environmental navigation abilities are genuinely impressive. He moves through tar pits like water, demonstrating perfect adaptation to his element, and can climb walls despite his apparent lack of conventional limbs or climbing equipment. His mobility in his preferred environment gives him significant tactical advantages. Most importantly, the tar monster survives direct hits from heavy machinery without taking damage, only becoming vulnerable when air is forced into his composition. This specific weakness means that defeating him requires creative problem-solving rather than brute force, making him one of the most strategically challenging opponents the gang faces. Black Knight Ghost. The Black Knight Ghost combines traditional medieval imagery with superhuman physical capabilities. He wears massive steel armor with apparent ease, suggesting strength levels that far exceed what would be required for normal human combat while maintaining full mobility and fighting effectiveness. His destructive capabilities are particularly noteworthy. The Black Knight can break through doors and walls by charging or direct impact, using his armored form as a battering ram while maintaining enough control to target specific obstacles. This combination of strength and precision makes him formidable in both offensive and defensive situations. The Black Knight's durability comes primarily from his armor, which allows him to shrug off direct attacks that would incapacitate unarmored opponents. His resistance to conventional weapons and improvised attacks means that defeating him requires either overwhelming force or clever tactical approaches that exploit his armor's limitations. Notably, the Black Knight can subdue several Mystery Inc. members simultaneously, suggesting both the strength to overpower multiple people and the tactical awareness to coordinate attacks against multiple targets. He's only stopped by powerful magnets or heavy machinery, indicating that his threat level requires industrial-strength solutions. Phantom virus. The Phantom virus represents a completely different category of monster strength through his energy-based composition and digital manipulation abilities. Made of pure energy, he's unaffected by physical attacks that would stop conventional monsters, making traditional confrontation completely ineffective. His digital environment manipulation gives him reality-warping powers within computer systems. The Phantom virus can alter virtual reality and create obstacles that affect the real world, blurring the line between digital and physical threats in ways that make him uniquely dangerous in technology-dependent environments. The Phantom virus's electrical control abilities make him lethal through direct contact. He can shock, disorient, and incapacitate opponents instantly while also manipulating electrical systems to create environmental hazards. His control over electricity makes him dangerous both as a direct combatant and as someone who can weaponize the technological environment. His intangibility allows him to phase through solid objects, making him nearly impossible to contain through conventional means. Only strong magnetic fields can affect him, making the Phantom virus one of the hardest monsters to defeat due to his energy-based nature and technological advantages. 10. 0-Volt Ghost. The 10-0-Volt Ghost takes electrical powers to their logical extreme with an entire body composed of living electricity. His electric touch can melt metal and fry electronics instantly, making him lethal to both organic and mechanical targets through casual contact. His mobility advantages are significant. The Ghost can float, pass through objects, and travel through electrical wires, giving him tactical flexibility that most monsters lack. He can appear anywhere there's electrical infrastructure, making him unpredictable and difficult to anticipate or contain. The 10-0-Volt Ghost's area effect capabilities make him particularly dangerous. He can control lights and power for entire buildings, cause power surges, and create blackouts that affect large areas. His influence extends far beyond his immediate physical presence, making him a threat to entire communities rather than just individual targets. His electrical nature makes him dangerous against both people and machinery, as he can disable technology while simultaneously threatening human targets. However, he can be defeated through clever insulation or grounding techniques, providing specific tactical approaches that exploit his electrical nature. Sarah Ravencroft. Sarah Ravencroft represents genuine supernatural power that operates on a completely different scale from costumed villains. As an actual witch who returns from the dead, she possesses reality-altering magic that makes her one of the most formidable opponents in Scooby-Doo history. Her offensive magical capabilities are devastating. Sarah can throw fireballs, create magical barriers that resist physical and supernatural attacks, and animate trees and other environmental elements to fight on her behalf. Her magic allows her to turn the entire environment into a weapon against her opponents. Sarah's reality manipulation abilities go beyond simple combat magic. She can absorb objects, reshape landscapes, and overpower everything in her vicinity through sheer magical force. Her power level suggests someone who can fundamentally alter the rules of reality within her area of influence. Most importantly, Sarah Ravencroft is nearly unstoppable without supernatural intervention. Only sealing her magic book can contain her power, indicating that conventional approaches are completely ineffective. She represents the kind of threat that requires magical solutions rather than physical confrontation or clever traps. Werecats from Zombie Island. The Werecats represent perhaps the most dangerous combination of physical and supernatural abilities in the entire franchise. They possess superhuman agility and strength, with claws that can slice through steel and the ability to leap several meters in single bounds. Their immortal nature makes them uniquely dangerous long-term opponents. The Werecats have survived for centuries without aging or weakening, maintaining peak physical condition across extended periods that would kill normal creatures multiple times over. Their experience and accumulated knowledge make them formidable strategists as well as combatants. The Werecats' necromantic abilities add another layer to their threat level. They create and command zombies by draining life from victims, giving them the ability to build armies of undead servants while simultaneously eliminating opposition. This combination of personal combat ability and minion creation makes them exceptionally dangerous. Their regenerative abilities mean they can recover from wounds that would permanently disable other monsters, while their specific vulnerability to sunlight and ritual magic provides limited windows for effective counterattack. The werecats represent genuine supernatural predators rather than theatrical monsters. Spooky Island Demons. The Spooky Island Demons combine physical strength with supernatural possession abilities that make them uniquely threatening. They can possess humans and increase their physical power, essentially turning innocent people into supernaturally enhanced combatants against their will. Their agility and combat effectiveness allow them to move with extreme speed and knock out groups of people with ease. The demons combine supernatural mobility with tactical awareness, making them effective against multiple opponents simultaneously while maintaining the ability to escape when outmatched. The demons' durability is impressive, as they survive explosions, falls, and direct attacks without apparent damage unless exposed to sunlight. Their resistance to conventional weapons and improvised attacks makes them difficult to stop through normal means, requiring specific environmental advantages. Their fog breath causes paralysis, giving them a ranged attack option that can incapacitate targets before direct confrontation becomes necessary. The combination of possession abilities, physical strength, and paralytic attacks makes them versatile threats that can adapt their approach based on tactical requirements. Goblin King. The Goblin King represents the ultimate magical threat in Scooby-Doo, functioning as a final boss-level supernatural entity with reality-warping powers. As ruler of an entire supernatural realm, his power scale goes far beyond individual combat into cosmic-level threat territory. His magical abilities include summoning magical storms and transforming objects and beings at will. The Goblin King can manipulate the fundamental nature of reality within his domain, making him capable of threats that go beyond physical combat into existential danger for anyone who opposes him. The Goblin King's command over armies of monsters gives him strategic capabilities that most individual monsters lack. Rather than fighting alone, he can coordinate supernatural forces on a massive scale, making him a threat to entire regions rather than just individual groups. His magical staff serves as a focus for powers that can manipulate nature and create illusions on a massive scale. The Goblin King's strength is essentially limited only by story requirements, rather than any inherent physical or magical constraints, making him one of the most powerful entities the gang has ever faced. Black Samurai. The Black Samurai combines centuries of martial arts expertise with supernatural resurrection abilities. Wielding a legendary katana with supernatural power, he represents the fusion of human skill with magical enhancement that makes him nearly unstoppable in single combat. His flight abilities and storm summoning give him tactical advantages that most earthbound opponents can't match. The Black Samurai can control weather patterns and aerial positioning, making him dangerous both in direct combat and through environmental manipulation. The Black Samurai's supernatural resilience comes from his curse, which allows him to fight for centuries without fatigue or degradation. His accumulated combat experience, combined with supernatural enhancement, makes him formidable against any opponent regardless of their individual capabilities. His legendary katana can only be neutralized through specific ritual magic, meaning that conventional weapons and tactics are completely ineffective. The Black Samurai requires supernatural countermeasures rather than traditional combat approaches, placing him in the category of monsters who must be defeated through mystical rather than physical means. Evil Entity. Nibiru Entity. The Nibiru Entity represents the absolute pinnacle of Scooby-Doo monster strength, possessing cosmic-level powers that threaten reality itself. With possession and manipulation abilities that affect multiple beings simultaneously, telekinetic powers, and command over armies of dark spirits, this entity operates on a scale that dwarfs every other threat. The entity's reality-distorting capabilities include causing global destruction and impacting reality on a cosmic scale. This isn't just a local threat or even a regional danger. Nibiru Entity represents existential risk to entire worlds, making it the most powerful opponent the franchise has ever featured. Its invulnerability to non-magical attacks means that conventional approaches are completely useless. The entity can only be confronted through supernatural means, and even then success is not guaranteed. Its ability to invade dreams and control the physical world simultaneously makes it nearly impossible to escape or avoid. The Nibiru Entity represents the ultimate escalation in Scooby-Doo monster power levels, demonstrating that the franchise can produce genuinely cosmic-level threats when necessary. It's the kind of opponent that requires everything the heroes have learned about supernatural combat, plus considerable luck, to even survive encountering. Here's where we leave it. Scooby-Doo monsters range from guy in a bedsheet to cosmic entity that can rewrite reality, proving that not all supernatural threats are created equal. The strongest monsters combine physical power with supernatural abilities and strategic intelligence, creating opponents that challenge the Mystery Gang in ways that go far beyond simple jump scares. The evidence shows that monster strength in Scooby-Doo scales directly with supernatural enhancement, with the most powerful enemies being those who combine physical capabilities with reality-altering magic. The weakest monsters rely on costumes and theatrics, while the strongest threaten the fundamental structure of existence itself. Next up, we're analyzing whether the Mystery Gang could actually defeat these monsters in real combat situations, because apparently cartoon physics might be the only thing keeping our heroes alive when facing opponents who can melt steel with their bare hands. Trust me, the survival analysis will make you appreciate just how lucky Fred's traps really are. And yes, I'm still going to call myself the #1 Mystery Incorporated analyst, despite acknowledging that I've just spent considerable time proving that some cartoon monsters could probably conquer small countries if they put their minds to it. Sometimes the most terrifying realizations come from taking children's entertainment seriously enough to do the math on supernatural combat effectiveness.